Prato da Casa.
Hi, my name is Michael. I'm the executive chef of Lila Toronto. Today on Prato da Casa, we're gonna make un uovo raviolo. So you're gonna take 2 cups of double O flour. If you don't have double O, you can use all-purpose. It's not really that big of a difference. Just tastes a little better. You wanna create a well in the center. This will make it so that you can actually put your pasta dough, put your eggs in the center and start working them. From there, you're gonna crack your eggs into there. From here, you're just gonna whisk your eggs and you're just gonna try to keep them all together to make your dough. If you have a standing mixer, this is way easier. And so once your eggs are starting to combine together, you're gonna actually start to work them all together, just folding in slowly to help it out. At this point, I usually use a bench scraper. It helps to actually get the whole process done just slightly faster. You're just gonna fold in one way at a time. From here, you're gonna start kneading. Kneading is just working the gluten. So if your pasta dough is a little too wet, you can add more flour. If your pasta dough is just a little too dry, you can add a little bit of water just by adding it onto your hand. This pasta dough came from just reading a cookbook and falling in love with how simplistic it is, but also how much technique actually goes behind it. So from here, you're gonna get your ball shape. And what I tend to do is I just roll the bottom of it. So from here, then you're gonna wrap it up and you're gonna let it sit for about 30 minutes. During this process, I would recommend to start your filling. So for the filling, we're gonna do a spinach and ricotta. You're gonna take garlic, about 1 clove of garlic. It does not need to be like fancy or anything like that. Press it just to get rid of the shell. From here, you're gonna take your garlic. You're just gonna, you can either do thinly sliced or you can do rough cut. And then you just wanna do a rocking motion with your knife. Essentially, this is called mince. Mincing is when you're just like making it very fine and making it like almost like into a paste kind of deal. Once your pan heats up to a medium to low heat, add in a little bit of oil. And then from there, you're just gonna take the garlic into the pan. So as this is going, I always start with garlic and then I go into onion. So what I do is I just remove the top and I wanna do brunoise cut. So I'm gonna split my onion in half. And then from here, brunoising is a very, very fine dice. Do like this claw motion on the back. So you're holding the top, bottom, and the sides. And you're just pushing your blade all the way to the core. You wanna keep the core intact at all times or else this will not work and it'll just be a disaster everywhere. And then brunoising as close as you can. And you wanna do this little claw motion. I'm just paying attention to my garlic as well, making sure I'm not burning it or anything like that. The reason that you do it this small is in order to cook a little faster and such. Everything along that lines, add in my spinach. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to it. So after we deglazed our spinach and we've cooked it all the way down, you're just gonna put it into a bowl to get rid of the moisture. Spinach has a lot of liquid in it, so you kind of want to get rid of all of that because we're gonna be adding it into the ricotta. I do like a little squeeze. This just helps to get rid of some of that moisture. What I would do is just, like I said, if you have a food processor, this is a lot easier. So what you do is you take your spinach, cut it up as fine as you can. So now you're gonna take a bowl. You're gonna put your spinach in the bowl. Take your ricotta. You can use any kind of ricotta. It's not like gonna make a difference. I prefer creamier ricotta. You're just gonna mix everything around. And you just wanna push it down as much as you can and then stick this in the fridge to chill and let it become cold. So that way when you're piping your ravioli, it'll actually hold a little bit better. It'll be a little stiffer. I'm gonna put the dough there, just work it a little bit. And you just wanna roll this out enough that you can actually fit it onto your pasta roller. So as of right now, I think that it's thin enough to fit through this. And all I'm gonna do is just You want to be as evenly as you can be with it. So just slowly working it. You always want to check in the dusting on it. Then you're just going to slowly gauge it. So you're just going down, and what it does is it thins it out more and more each time. So as it's thinning out, you know, it's working the gluten even more. It takes a longer time, yes, but it helps. Just one other trick that we've all learned is to fold over, and it'll give you this perfect little rectangular shape. So you can actually get the most amount of surface out of this one dough. So at the thickness that it's at right now, I've cut it so I can start getting my shape. So I use 2 different ring molds. The first one I always do the first imprint, and you're not cutting into it. What this one does is it actually shows you on how big you want to make the raviolo. And then the second one is actually going to be the filling size that we're looking for. So for me personally, I would probably go with about there. I think that would be a little better. So what you're going to do is you're going to do your ring mold from the inside over there, and that's about going to be done. You're going to go always pipe from the middle, or if it's small, you can do from the top. You're just going to go all the way around just like this. And you want to make it just big enough that the egg can sit on the inside like a little nesting. So what you want to do is you just want to separate the egg white from the egg yolk. Just like this. Save the egg whites if you ever want to make like a meringue or anything, any kind of dessert like that. And you just pop it in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over. Spread it out. I'm going to take my ring mold, push down, take my ring mold and cut on the inside like that. There's going to be some massive air pockets in this because when you're making ravioli, there always is. So I use a cake tester, and what I do is I just poke a small little hole just around. Take that first one, the smaller size one, and you're just gonna create that little ring right there. So after you made your ravioli, you want to then put it into boiling salted water. I go a little bit generous on the salting part personally. It's just my thing. Once my water is boiling, I'm gonna dump this in for roughly about 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Take a little bit of the pasta water, put it into this pan. So we're just gonna add 2 tablespoons of butter. So once you pull it out, you wanna put it into your sauce. And you're just gonna heat it up from here. Take a little bit of lemon juice. I don't like a lot of lemon with mine personally, but creating the sauce here. You're gonna take your pasta. You're gonna go in the center of the plate, just like this. Pour a little bit of the sauce on top. Nuovo raviolo.